All right. Hey, everybody. We are live yet again. This is MoJOE, Joe McCarthy in Brea, California, with my buddy Rick Olson out there. Rick, tell everybody where you are.
I am in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and there's no place on the planet I would rather be than in Baton Rouge.
All right. Now, Melanie Dupard, go ahead.
I was just going to say, charming, best food in the world, great people. It's hard to beat.
All right. We also have with us Jon Weirauch, which is kind of our partner in crime between Rick and I. And Jon, just greet the folks and tell them where you're sitting right now.
Well, I'm certainly not in Baton Rouge. Hi, everybody. I'm in the basement of my mid-Michigan home, and it's not quite as exciting as what you guys got going on there.
Before we got rolling here, we were teasing Jon that with the lighting that he's got in his basement, it looks like he might be in a morgue. We're not quite sure. So if Jon freezes up, it could be the computer. It just might be he froze up for good. I'm not sure. We'll call him out. Rick, you know our guest here tonight much better than we do. We just met her a few minutes ago. So would you lead us into an introduction to Melanie?
I would love to. She's just a wonderful, wonderful friend, has been now for a number of years. She works at Pelican State Credit Union down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I just am so incredibly proud of this credit union. They've now just won the Best Places to Work award for their 7th year in a row.
Ooh. All right.
It's just
congratulations. That's good stuff, man.
Spectacular. Yeah. And I've been there a lot. I'm not surprised by the honor. I'm not surprised by the award. These people just live it day after day after day. And Melanie, when you come there, she is the first person that you will meet when you step onto their grounds. First of all, they have a spectacular building. It's just state of the art, brand new. My goodness, is it a showpiece? And the first thing that will happen when you walk through the door, you see concierge extraordinaire Melanie right there. The moment she sees you, she will leap from her seat. She'll come over and hug you. She will welcome you to the credit union. And you go, I don't want to leave. I just kind of want to stay right here. So she is the member and guest relations officer with the credit union. Let me just tell you about one conference and Melanie's impact. So I, for years, did the Ritz-Carlton program where we took leaders from the credit union world to the Ritz-Carlton. We stayed there for 3 days. We learned the service secrets of the Ritz. It was an amazing conference. Melanie went one year. There were 96 people that went to that conference. 95 of them got a hug from Melanie. All right. She hugged everybody except herself, but everybody else got a big hug from Melanie. And I'm telling you, from the state of Washington to Florida, New York to California, everybody wanted to hire her on home to their credit union. So that is my friend, Melanie Dupard, and just a real honor to have her on here tonight. So, Melanie, thanks for joining us.
Melanie.
Wow. Yep. I'm speechless. Thank you.
Hey, before we move into this interview, I just want to point out to our viewers something that just struck me deep down inside as a remarkable thing about your credit union, Melanie. That is 7 years running, best place to work, and yet you're still hiring a consultant, you're still bringing in people, you're still learning and growing. And this is something that sets really great organizations apart. And all of us could speak to this, but you haven't arrived. In fact, you don't even have a mentality that you could ever arrive. It's always another step. It's another improvement. It's this growth mindset. And I've even heard said, if you're not growing, you're dying. And you guys are definitely not dying.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, Rick, I'm speechless. Thank you. You bring the enthusiasm everywhere you go. You lit our administrative team on fire. We just ate what you gave us. Kind of like the food in Louisiana. It's hard not to enjoy it. And you brought that passion and compassion to Louisiana. Went to Denver at first when we first met. And
Right.
you brought it to Louisiana, and we're still excited about that. We look forward to seeing Rick every year. And Rick is one of the very few vendors that we have that every employee likes. Rick, every employee looks forward to his coming. We know we're going to get just fed with more service, passion, and compassion. Rick recently wrote a book, maybe a few years back, called Unleash Your Greatness. And he co-authored that. And one of the caveats in that book was some things you leave at home, but enthusiasm is not one of those things you leave at home. And we bring that every day because Rick brought that every day, morning, noon, night. And he didn't have a whole lot of PowerPoints. It's just simple things that people already know, but forgot that they knew. And it's amazing. And we have the mentality that, hey, we can always grow. It's progressive. We're never, like you said, arrived there, because when you feel that way, there's nothing left for you to do. And we have so much more to conquer, so many more members' lives to change, so many more bright sunshines and rainbows for our members to see, because sometimes bad things happen to good people. And when they see there's a future, there's a chance, they're not just a number, they're individual. And when you show people, you can talk about passion and compassion, but when you exude that, I think that says a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
It's fantastic. Rick, how much did you pay Melanie to say all that? Goodness gracious, that was fantastic.
Yeah. What the ultimate press agent, I tell you. I mean, everybody wants to hire her, including me. All right.
All right.
Let me tell you a little bit about the heart of this credit union. You see what people are made of when the chips are down, when things get tough. This credit union has been through so much. In 2016, so many of their homes were flooded.
Yeah.
I mean, just a staggering number of their people were flooded. This last year, they got hit every which way by hurricanes, and so many people were deeply impacted. Homes were lost. Credit unions were ripped up. Stuff happened. But just to watch how they respond in those times and the heart that they have, it's like if you go through a calamity, I'm telling you, you want to work for Pelican. You're going to be loved and cared for and taken care of. That's what they do extremely well. Melanie, tell us a little bit about the floods of 2016. That was an amazing thing that you went through.
Wow. We right now currently have right at 300, a little over 300 employees, and about 50 of those employees suffered water damage to their home, even as much as 4 to 5 feet. So they had no idea where they would go, what they would do. Schools were closed, churches were closed, jobs were closed. And our CEO, Jeff Conrad, and Melissa Ott and Annette Timms, our senior management team, said, hey, we have to come up with a plan. And they presented that plan with our board of directors and agreed with it. So something I find just human, the human kind, the human passion. If you could come to work, great. If you couldn't come to work, stay home. Take this week, that's Monday through Friday, stay home. We will pay you as if you were here. And that spoke volumes. And after work, we have people in accounting answering phones. So you can imagine, shorthanded here, not quite sure, but we all pulled together because we're a family. And you don't have time to just say, well, who does this? It's not my job. That's not the attitude we have at Pelican. Everybody comes together. And we had, it was like a Pelican Walmart where we had a conference room where go get brooms, mops, towels, clothes, whatever, Pampers for babies. And some days people brought their children to work with them. So we have conference rooms. We were able to set up conference rooms, like maybe little mini schools, classrooms. And we took turns watching the kids and we fed them. So it was just unselfishness, lots of tears, a lot of tears of joy, and a lot of hugs, and realizing I might not have nowhere to go, but I have Pelican, and they're my family away from my family.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's us.
That's you guys.
Now they live that out. Guys, this is not my best Wi-Fi night. I'm going to, even though I'm a great friend of Melanie, know her really well.
Yeah.
I'll let you take the lead on a lot of questions here. But if you want to ask her about their culture, if you want to ask them about service, I would pry deep into what her philosophy is and how she makes people special She's so great at that. But I'm going to let you guys kind of run with this here and go ahead and ask my friend. She'll give you some great stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
So, Melanie, my first question is,
Yes.
well, my first observation is I just want to go wherever you are so I can get one of them hugs, right? So, who doesn't like hugs? The great thing about a hug is when you give one, you get one. That's what I love about hugs, right? But I guess my question is that just your personality and you've been set free to be you? Or is that part of the culture where you're not the only person at the credit union who would greet someone with that much empathy, compassion, love, concern? Is that just you, or is that just your job title, or is that your credit union?
Great question. It's actually both. First of all, we have an organization where we believe in God, and we know through Him all things flow. All things are possible when you believe. And when He gives you joy, no one can take it away. And a lot of times you have to share that joy with others and help them to remember, to realize they have the same joy and the same gifts and same passion that God has it for everybody. So not just me. When you come to our campus, any one of our branches, our corporate locations, you will run into people just like me, or even better. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and that's such a. I mean, I don't even know you, and I've already caught it. It's such a contagious thing, right? I mean, seriously. Ever since we started talking, I want to come give you a hug too. This is great. So I guess, I have a question for you, because
Yes.
what you have, and from what we've heard about Rick and what we've heard so far, what you have is something a lot of people wish they had.
Wow.
Certainly a lot of organizations wish they had. So how do you have any advice, suggestions? Like how could we replicate Melanie? How can we learn from Melanie to be more like Melanie?
I don't know. I do know you are responsible for our choices that we make, and particularly our actions to those choices. I think negativity is a choice, resentment, anger, revenge, but also forgiveness is a choice. Empathy is a choice. And we're not here by ourselves. We're not an island. It takes all of us. And we pride ourselves in passion for other people, and also servant leadership, where you can help other people. And I teach member service to new hires, and we're internal members serving each other. And sometimes we forget that it's not just the people on the other side of the counter, if you're at the teller line or MSR's desk or a branch manager's office. We are also internal members. So if we don't treat each other with respect and dignity and kindness, how can we expect to treat others on the other side of the desk?
Absolutely. That's where it's at right there. And I have to ask, not that this is important, I'm just very curious, like on the organizational chart, from what I'm gathering is, do you have any people that directly report to you, anyone you're responsible for in that way?
Titles are there, but I think when you realize they're not the most important thing. We have attitude that if there's trash on the floor, let's pick it up. Let's pick it up. If the door's closed and it should be open, or vice versa, just pick it up. Somebody forgot something. This is our home, away from home. And I know how I am at home. So, and I'm here 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day. It just depends on what the day requires. And you should enjoy what you do. And I like to come home and relax. I'm very blessed to have a family at home. My husband and we have 2 children, a boy and a girl. And I can't complain. I cannot complain. Great job, great family.
So Melanie,
it's still yet to come.
John, I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm going to pick up on what she just said. She said, you should enjoy what you do. Now, that is true, and it's what we all want, and yet it's extremely rare. At least that's my understanding. Yeah. That's my experience. And now, for some people, enjoying their job is either because they're in the right job for the right organization and they find joy in it. Some people enjoy their job just because they're joyful people and they bring the joy with them wherever they go. But quite honestly, there's a lot of organizations that the way they're structured, the way they're managed, the way the leadership shows up, kind of wrings the joy out of people, right? And it may not even be intended. It may not be a malicious thing. It's just
correct.
That's the way we've always done it. That's the way we're going to do it. It's command, it's control, it's production. But I'm hearing from you a totally different kind of leadership style, in that it's not just you because you're the chief hugging officer, but there is a culture there, right? Where it's you and the
Exactly.
leaders above you and the leaders above you, I'm guessing right to the CEO. This is an
Correct.
ethos in your organization. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. Because it starts at top. The leadership starts at the top. And if we're in a aloof administration, if we were, the employees wouldn't be able to follow us. So we have to show that we care. And we do things to show that we care in numerous ways. We have what we call a family reunion day, where we close the credit union down for one day. It's a Wednesday. And particularly, and COVID-19 kind of changed that a little bit, but we're still planning that again later this year. And just to say thank you to our employees. And there's lots of giveaways, gifts, of course, food. We have to have food and sweet tea just to say thank you. And we have Christmas lunches with each other, and it's all on Pelican. And where administration serves the employees, because we have several branches and we have a big corporate building. And so we make surprise visits there and just gifts just to say thank you, because they're on the front lines. And when I started, well, actually, I've been there almost 20 years. This month will be 20 years at Pelican State Credit.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I can see why they kept you around all this time.
When I started, I said, I'll be here 3 years. It'll look good on my resume. But I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the members. And I have a relationship with the members. And the employees see that. And I have great, phenomenal coworkers. So we make each other better. We want to do better. We want to get better for our members, for our community, and we volunteer in the community. And it's so much fun that we've had to shift that because of COVID, but restrictions are getting lifted, and with God's grace, we're going to go back to pre-COVID and we can get all the hugs again.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that must have been a difficult season for you, not being able to hug for that long. My goodness.
It was so hard.
Yeah.
I had restrictions. You can't hug us. I know. So it was like, and we had masks on. So it was cute to get different masks, different shades of color coordinate, but no hugs for a year plus. So yeah,
Man.
It was stressful.
Now, how many people could say their biggest stress during COVID-19 was that they didn't get to hug enough people, right? How cool is that?
Exactly.
My word.
That's wonderful.
That's the best COVID report I've ever heard. COVID sucked because I couldn't hug everybody. That's awesome. Now, there's, Melanie, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but there are naysayers out there. They're saying, what you guys are saying sounds nice, and it's kumbaya, and hold hands and sing songs around the campfire, but it's not the speed of business, right? Business
Correct.
Requires put your nose down, do your job, and just do it well. And then if you're going to have fun, you're going to have it at home, or you're going to have it on the weekends, or you're going to have it away from work. And that may not be in the bylaws, it might not be in the core values, but that's the way it just plays out every day. And I think there's a lot of factors there, but what do you tell somebody who says, man, this really is a fun place to be. I like being a customer here. I like being a worker here. And I hear you say, I came in and I was going to work there for 3 years, and now 20 years later, I couldn't be happier. Now there's an incredible nugget right there, because every CEO, every CFO knows that turnover is one of the most expensive things in any organization, not just because of the cost, but the loss of information, the transfer of knowledge, the training, all that has to go on there. So, even if the only benefit was the lack of turnover, which that isn't the only benefit, that's going to increase the bottom line anyway. Mm-hmm. But all that, my question is, what do you say to people who are like really skeptical about, this happy, joy stuff?
Yeah. For some people, you're exactly right. They will think it's just nonsense. But first of all, like I said, when God gives you joy, nobody can take it away. And second, why do you do what you do? What makes you happy? What would you do every day if you didn't get paid for it? Would you still do that? Will you still show up? And I work for a company that we work hard, but we play hard. We have fun. And I give my best every day. And when I leave, I'm excited. I'm happy about the job I've done that day. And I can come home because we've taught you leave work at work and you leave home at home. And in some businesses, you can't do that. IT, certain departments, you have to take it with you. But there's a balance. There's a balance in everything. There's a just wait. And so because when I come home, I'm wife, I'm mother, I'm daughter, I'm sister, I'm aunt, and so many different other roles I play. So I want to give everybody me. And it's not just the quality, it's more the quantity, not just the quantity, it's the quality of the time that you get. So you got to enjoy what you do. I think money is great, but it's not everything. It's not everything.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic, and I just want to hop in here because everything you're saying here, Melanie, and it's why I want to circle back to why I asked that question earlier, is that you are a leader in every area of your life, and I think that's so fantastic, to live a purposeful, intentional life in all the
Exactly
areas.
right.
Yeah, and like you said, some people feel that they do need to, be the manager or supervisor of a team or anything to have some sort of leadership role or leadership clout. But in your actions every day, you're leading the members, you're leading yourself, you're leading others.
Thank
You're an inspiration. This is great.
Thank you so much. I have a phenomenal support team at all aspects, and I don't take it for granted. And it's something I can learn from the young people younger than me, my age and older than me. And if we all succeed, I think I succeed. And it goes on your heart. What is your heart telling you? What is your heart telling you? And our members know that we have a heart for service, know that we have passion for people, and we want to teach them how to be financially fit. That's a part of servant leadership. And if serving, I think, is below you, then leadership is beneath you. So you have to have a servant's heart and a servant mentality.
I'm stealing that quote. Yeah, wow.
Say that again. Say that again, because we want to copyright that right there. Say that last thing again. That was, that's a gem right
it's
there.
not mine.
I know. Say it again, though. That's
If
awesome.
serving is beneath you, then leadership. If serving is beneath you, then leadership is definitely something you will not obtain, because you have to serve others. You have to serve others. And you have to do it with sincere passion. And people can tell when you care. They can honestly tell when you care, from a child to an adult. They can tell. And in Louisiana, maybe it's the south of the country. We care. We're passionate, not just about food, but about people. And here, sports, religion, certain things, but it's the people. No matter where you go, it's the people.
It sounds like you really thrive on the necessity of human connection, right? I mean, just the care for each other, the deep love we should have for each other, everybody that we meet, whether you've met them, it's a member you saw for the first time for 30 seconds, or some member you've seen every year for the last 20 years. There's important to have that connection, right?
And when you get it, it's never lost, because I've had to have a shoulder for some people to cry on, to lean on. And some people might have lost their job or lost a spouse or a family member, and their life has changed instantaneously. And people know you care, but until they know, when you listen, you truly listen, because hearing is a biological function, but listening is intentional. And when you do it intentional, it comes across. You don't have to put a front or a facade. You being you. And sometimes I have to just listen. And where I sit, I'm very privileged, because I see employees come in on a good day. I see them come in on a not so good day. And sometimes a smile or a quote, I send quotes every morning, and I get a response every day. I needed to see that. I need to hear that. And God loves you, and he can meet you wherever you are. And he created us to help his people. And that's why I'm here.
That's man, it's so beautiful. And I think when we grow up in the church, if you grew up in the church, or if you know anything about the Bible, you know that Jesus said there's really 2 commandments, and all the rest of them are tied into that. That's love God, right, and love others. And you kind of think, well, that's nice church language, or that's family language. And what you're saying, and what you're living, and what your credit union is doing, is saying those 2 principles guide even our business.
Yes.
You love God, you love others. And if you do that, everything else will line up. And no, that isn't kumbaya, hold hands around the campfire, although there's nothing wrong with that either, right? But this is, I mean, I'm not sure even until right now I realized what a vital business principle it is, that when Jesus says these are the 2 greatest commandments, he actually realized that that's going to make your business better as well. Yes. Because like you said, it's about people. It's about human connections in almost every business. And I wouldn't say 100%, because there's some that are just technical jobs.
Exactly.
But in most businesses, most organizations, if you treat the organization like an organism, you get a lot more productivity and a lot more relationship out of it.
Oh, might have lost Joe for a second.
I think
Rick,
so.
Does Rick want to try to get the word in here? How's your connection, Rick?
I'm scared because I've heard all kinds of crazy sounds all night. You guys are doing a good job, but I'll try to jump in here while we bring Mr. McCarthy back to us a little bit. But these people, everything is big down here. You know, the love is big, the fun is big, the work is big, everything is big. They don't scrimp on anything. I've been training here for 2 days. The noon meals are big. We had pulled pork today. It was unbelievable. Okay, and so everything is just done right, big, and it's all in on everything. And it is a super fun place to work. What they do on Halloween is unbelievable. I mean, every executive gets into a whole Halloween outfit, walks all through the building, and that sort of thing. So now I got a call coming in here from Baton Rouge. I'm going to let that one go for a minute here.
We are live, folks. We are live.
Yeah. So one of my things I love to teach about when it comes to having fun in the workplace, and these guys do it so well. Fun is not the reward for getting work done. Fun is the lubricating work done. And if you think fun is the reward, then everybody just puts their head down and works really hard. And at the end, we have some kind of fun. Well, at the end, all we have is roadkill. People are wiped out. But these people, it's the fun that makes the work so great. They have fun doing it. It's the lubricant that gets work done. And they live that out extremely well. So could not be more proud.
Thank you.
Of Melanie and the whole gang at Pelican.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure. I have thoroughly enjoyed myself and hope this is not the last time we get to see each other.
Absolutely.
We can do it again.
Yes.
Well, we are out of time.
So much.
We're out of time now, but Melanie, on behalf of all of us and for all of our listeners as well, thank you for showing up the way you show up, not just in this broadcast, but the way you show up every day for your employees, for your customers, and then when you go home and you show up for your family, it's inspiring. And quite honestly, if we can all learn to make laughter and joy the lubricant of our job, what a better world we would have. Just imagine what that would look like.
Amen.
Yeah. So on behalf of MoJOE, Jon Weirauch, Rick Olson, and our newest friend, Melanie Dupard, thank you so much for tuning in. Time is a precious resource, and you've spent it with us, so I hope that was time well spent. I hope we served up a little Louisiana hospitality right here through the internet.
Phenomenal. Thank you.
All right. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.